Today on 21st Century Business, explore state-of-the-art technology, innovative business strategies, insights from cutting-edge corporations around the globe, a visionary look into the answers of tomorrow, today. Business leaders, business solutions, 21st Century Business.
Welcome to 21st Century Business. I'm Jackie Bales. In the financial market, it's imperative that banks and credit unions deliver their documents and statements accurately and on time. It's also imperative that documents meet all regulatory and security requirements. One company is committed to being the most focused, knowledgeable, and reliable partner to the financial industry. And to learn more about that, we're joined by Paul Holtzman, CEO of Business Data Incorporated. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you, Jackie. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
Also joining us is Todd Holtzman, Director of Business Development for BDI. Welcome, Todd.
Thanks. Glad to be here.
We also have Pat Wessenberg, President and CEO of Central City Credit Union and Vice Chair of CUNA. Welcome, Pat.
Thank you. It's great to be here again, Jackie.
First of all, Todd, how have you seen the financial industry's marketplace change since you became critical solutions providers?
Well, I can only speak to the 12 years I've been in this business, but in those 12 years, I've seen radical change. The financial industries clearly have been facing some real challenges over the last few years, and as a result of new regulatory demands that have been coming down from the federal government, a lot of the credit unions and even the banks have really had to scrutinize their financial performance. They're having to learn how to do more with less, primarily through technology. And what that means is they have a heavier reliance on better marketing practices and staffing. They're leaning on companies such as a Business Data Inc. to really keep them in compliance and up to date to meet those regulatory requirements and to stay in compliance for sure. And the other thing is security. Security is a big one, especially today in the digital world.
Oh, I am sure. Paul, tell us a little about BDI's history.
We incorporated in 1984. And the purpose of incorporating at that time was to take a look at the financial industry and how we as an independent service provider could help that industry provide a better solution for the creation and the delivery of their critical documents that they wanted to distribute to their customers.
And which industries does BDI service, Paul?
Well, Jackie, we handle some verticals. Would be the healthcare, the insurance industry, state and local government, as well as travel. But 95% of our focus is in the financial industries, namely banking and credit unions. And that remains the case today.
And Pat, how important is the value-based type of relationship that they're speaking of?
It's extremely important because basically it's a total customer-focused organization. So when they're looking at trying to help out, they're looking at how can we help this business model be better, and they focus on that particular client and how their product can help make their job better and easier.
Well, let's take a look at Business Data's solutions in this 21st Century Business Field Report.
Business Data Incorporated, or BDI, securely delivers their client statements and documents on time and on target while remaining flexible. This flexibility allows BDI to immediately address any changes their clients request.
We work very closely with BDI and our internal legal and compliance team to make any kind of changes as it relates to regulatory or compliance needs. A recent example was some changes we needed to make around our billing rights statements for open-end loans. We work very closely with BDI to implement all those changes required for not only the printed statements, but for electronic statements.
BDI delivers several kinds of documents. Obviously, our core is financial statements. We actually support tax reporting documents. A big part of what we do is our direct marketing campaign support for our customers. They represent a good portion of what is the future for the American economy. This would be credit unions, small banks, and other, service institutions that the American consumer relies on.
BDI provides its clientele with dedicated experience, time-proven performance, the willingness and ability to be flexible, responsive, and effective in meeting customer requirements, all while maintaining the highest level of security for their customers and their clients.
BDI has security controls in place through security policies and procedures that we review with our employees annually. Our security controls are also audited on an annual basis. We also go through external penetration testing with our third-party security firm in order to test those security controls.
We want to make sure that our members are getting the information they need about their statement, as well as any marketing materials or promotions that we're running that specific month. So we definitely count on BDI to make sure that they're getting that information timely. We look at BDI as a business partner and not just a vendor. Their level of service and the support they provide is outstanding. It's one of the best business partners that we work with, especially when it comes to something as important as the statements and the information we're providing to our members about their accounts.
Todd, tell us more about your document delivery solutions.
Well, we've delivered a single source solution approach to creating financial documents and other types of documents for primarily the financial industries. We take in content from third-party data, not only data content, but marketing content from their core processors, other third-party providers that we aggregate data, and through our proprietary workflow systems and data composition software, we create very highly sophisticated, customized documents with high speed, high efficiency in mind, and predictability. Our systems really provide maximum flexibility, not only to work with all data contents, but to standardize our production efforts. So that allows us to maximize efficiencies, as I had mentioned, but with cost containment in mind. And nothing is outsourced, so everything is done under one fully self-contained facility for security purposes, and to make sure that the demands for timely delivery and distribution of the documents are right on point.
And Paul, let's talk a little bit about these documents themselves. What type of documents or applications does BDI produce for these business communities, and who are they delivered to?
Well, Jackie, primarily for the financial industries, it's financial statements of all types. Certainly, we have monthly and quarterly account summaries that have to be distributed to account holders on their financial transactions, commercial lines of credit, mortgage. These play a very big role in terms of our responsibility to assist in distribution of that, but also demographic marketing has become ever so important for the financial industries that we serve. The ability to be able to customize and get the right message out to the right person for the right need, and we specialize in doing that.
And I couldn't agree with you more that that is a huge thing that credit unions are looking at.
Sure, absolutely.
Paul, today more than ever, value is considered so important. What value propositions does a company like BDI bring to the table for the client base it services?
Well, Jackie, value is a very interesting word in today's marketplace, where demands are so heavily imposed on our customers for compliance, regulatory reasons, that when they rely on a service provider such as a BDI, we have to be able to deliver what's needed and wanted for each individual customer we have. And this means that you can't have one solution that meets all. You have to be willing to be able to meet the needs of our customers by listening to what they want and customizing and doing the things that are relevant to them. And this is where we place our focus, and this is what we will continue to do.
If I can add something to that, sure. We really believe in long-term earned partnerships. Earned partnerships from a value standpoint is very important to us. That is what allows us to form those long-term relationships and have longevity in the industry.
And Todd, what importance does technology play in your operations? And how are you managing to keep up with the rapid changes in the technologies that enhance products and services for clients?
Well, change is the key word. It's rapidly changing very quickly, and it plays a major role in everything that we do. Whether it be new technologies and new investments in data composition software, whether it's printers or intelligent inserting equipment, or running and operating one of our industry's biggest sorting facilities, it all plays a major role. And those will always continue to be supported now and into the future, but more recent shifts have taken us slightly different direction. Our marketplace is becoming very mobile, as you know. So we have introduced an online presentment, or what our industry calls an e-statement platform, that is really second to none in the industry and very robust. It's tied into all the major online banking companies for them to get their digital communications very effectively and important. And with 100 million plus e-documents currently delivered, we're really pushing the edge of delivering those digital communications across all various types of platforms, whether it be online presentment or traditional print mail, or even document archive services to our clientele. So we have very sophisticated workflow systems that allow them to really get all those communications, and we give them a client management system that's second to none in the industry to be able to be in total control of all their applications.
Wow. Paul, with more financial institutions looking to move more toward the electronic documents and communications, How has BDI been embracing this migration?
Well, Jackie, we recognized that a mobile communication in society would be in place as we evolved. And in 2001, that's when we embarked on setting up what was the basis for the e-document solutions that we're providing today. So since 2001, we've been developing and refining a product to meet the needs of our customers. And today it bridges everything that we do with hard paper into electronic form, and to allow our customers to have the communication capability to reach out to their customers with the messages that they need to do in both platforms.
And Pat, from your perspective, how has this rapidly changing technology affected the financial market?
Well, I think the first and foremost thing that it's done is it has actually forced credit unions to keep up with technology. So it's made them more adaptable to changing. And I also think it has created an environment for credit unions to provide services to the members that can be somewhat self-serve. Members can do a lot of things on their own. They can get instant balances, they can check things and do things, which allows us more time to give members service in other areas that they need it.
Paul, how does BDI stay cost competitive in a marketplace that's shrinking its spending but still demands top quality service?
Well, Jackie, remember, we've been in this business for 28 years, and during that 28 years, we've been refining our production process as we've been going. BDI has a very low debt service, and in this market of demands, this is extremely critical, and we've developed that over a long period of time. We have the ability to deliver whatever is needed and wanted in terms of the volume of work that's imposed on us that has to go out. There's nothing that we really can't comfortably handle at this point. The other thing that I would say is that we service all of our own equipment. All of our means of production are handled by inside staff who are well acquainted and technically proficient to be able to deal that. We do not ever stop. Production goes. We're never dependent on anybody else, and that is critical in our business today. Thirdly, I would like to say that we are very proud of our 130 employees, which have been with us average tenure of over 11 years. And what this means is we have experience. Our employees understand the markets we serve. They understand the needs. They know how to interpret what is needed. And this is a value that how do you put enough value on it? It makes a difference. We understand our customers, and we have focused on industries. We have not diluted our effort or focus ever. So we're very attuned to what our customers want, and we look forward with that, and we will always have that.
And I know earlier we were talking and you were mentioning all the investments that you've had to continually make in constantly upgrading the equipment as the technology changes.
Absolutely. For security reasons, as you can imagine, we can never relax that infrastructure. The most important thing is for us to protect the information that customers entrust us with.
Paul, with cyber and identity breaches becoming more of an issue today than ever before, how high of an importance does BDI place on data security and disaster recovery preparedness?
It is our #1 priority, Jackie, at all times. Now, we were an early adopter of SAS 70s. For about the last 5 to 7 years, we continuously are audited, and that is by an independent firm that comes in and does it every year. And what they're really basically looking for is compliance with the security standards we set up to control the information that's coming in that we're entrusted with. Just most recently, we're an early adopter of SOC 2 and SOC 3, which is a new standard which most of our customers are very well aware of. And again, that means that we are current on our compliance, and we are audited, and as an early adopter, we have passed that very, very well. In addition to that, we have outside consulting firms that come in and they test our security. They want to see if our security is tight enough that they can't break us, and it's important for us to know that. And it's important for us to assess any vulnerabilities that we may have so that we can correct that. So we invest a good deal of money and time and effort to make sure we have the right partners to help us stay security tight.
Pat, how does all this sound to you?
Well, I mean, it's extremely important. You know, not only do the vendors have to deal with the security, but we have to supply them with the reports and make sure that our vendors are doing it. So by them being proactive about it, it just makes our jobs easier.
If I can add something
Yeah, I
to it.
could hear you wanting to add
Sorry about
something. We mind melded for a minute.
It's all about setting new standards for quality assurance and quality controls. So as Paul had mentioned, it's all about the internal security and intrusion detections and who has access for their eyeballs to see the various content that we deal with. But it's also the disaster recovery sites in the event that there's a major emergency, something happens. Do you have a failover to a backup facility to be able to get those documents out in a timely fashion, as well as backup for data recovery? So all of that takes a tremendous amount of investment, and it's an ongoing evolutionary process. Just when you think you've mastered it all, you got a whole new level to get to. So we're constantly doing that, and for the foreseeable future, we don't see that stopping.
Jackie, can I make one other comment?
Sure.
Or a couple of comments. One is that no third party ever has access to any data that we handle, ever. That's rule number one. We will not let anything go out to public view at all. We're very proprietary on that. The second thing is that our disaster recovery requires us to have a print and mail facility and the ability to distribute electronic information in another location outside of our state. And the reason we do that is, God forbid there's an emergency, we have to be able to provide services. And to that effect, we do have that capability to get up and to run within a sufficient period of time, and we've made all allowances for that. That is really critical in the industry today.
Well, it sounds like BDI support and solutions can really make a difference in the financial industry. I'd like to first of all thank you, Paul and Todd, for sharing your ideas with us.
Well, thank you for having us today. It's been our pleasure.
I really appreciate it. It's been exciting.
And Pat, thank you as always for your insight.
I appreciate being here. Thank you.
And thank you for watching. For 21st Century Business, I'm Jackie Bales.